I'm not a very violent person, you know. I'm a pacifist, you could say, but unless you count Minecraft, in which case I'm worse than Hitler. But I've lived for quite some time now, so I've had my fair share of fights. I had one fight in my entire, yeah, I had like one active fight in my entire life, and it was like in second grade. It's pathetic. Not getting into fights is not pathetic, it's cool. You'll end up like me, a loser playing Minecraft behind the computer and trying to record it. Anyway, yeah, as I already said, this took place in like second to third grade. I'm not really sure. I'm not really a math guy, you know. But I was with this one classmate. You see, my class was already like, everyone was kind of friends. I know all the losers say that. We're like, oh, we're all friends in class, and they have no friends at all, so we're just trying to cope. But no, seriously. Whenever you're young, you usually just, like, don't really care about social relations at all, so we were practically all friends. Also, our teachers kind of forced us to be, but, like, we got along. It was fun. Yeah, I miss those days, you know. I'm actually getting the money. I should play more CSGO. But, of course, I had friends closer than others. That doesn't really matter right now, but I was with this one dude. He was like half American. I think his dad was American, and he like visited America a lot because his dad was American. If you listened, you would have known. And we were kind of just chilling, and he was just ranting about these boots he had. You know, he did not have Nike Pros. He did not have Air Force Ones. You know, usual things you'd expect for an American person who's just dumb. But no. Sorry, Americans, that was a joke. I did that for views, but I want your views as well. Person's actually like competent, which makes me uncomfortable. Alright, leaving this game, that didn't happen. You did not see that giant thing that's at the feet. No, you didn't. And he was flexing his brand new boots. Now, these were cowboy boots. He was like in Texas or something, and he bought cowboy boots from like his local retailer or something. And I was like, well, those aren't really cowboy boots. Because my logic was, which still stands by the way, if they weren't made in the Wild West, and they weren't made for cowboys or worn by cowboys, they're not cowboy. So he was like, oh, no, they are cowboy boots. And I was like, oh, did a cowboy wear them? Were they made in the Wild West like 300 years ago? And he was like, well, no, I bought them in a store. And I was like, well, they're not cowboy boots then, sir. Who do you think? I forgot my sword. I'm a genius. I should run. Smart man I am, I tell you. Oh, I'm actually okay. So I was like, no, they're not a real cowboy boots. And he was like, yes, they are real cowboy boots. And we kind of just went back and forth. And I probably eventually ended up landing. That really struck a nerve with him. I was probably like, you know, I think cowboys would hate you. I don't know. I think we kind of just went back. I had to look into the moon's eyes while I died painfully. I think I kind of just told him, no, there's not really not cowboy boots. And then he started kicking me, full on kicking me. Now I was a good boy, so my parents always stopped me. If you ever get into a fight, don't fight back at all. They don't really teach me that, but I kind of assumed because I'm smart. So I did not fight back. I was kind of just laying on the ground, taking it, because to be honest, they were cowboy boots. They were made of leather. They didn't really hurt that much, you know? It was not... he was a second grader. It's not like he was throwing some, like, prime Mike Tyson punches. He was kind of still weak. So I kind of just sat there, but I also didn't want to cry. It kind of hurt, because you're a second grader. Even when something doesn't actually hurt, you just cry. But up to this point, and for my entire, like, first to fifth, well, for my entirety of school years, I haven't cried once, and I was not about to lose that score above something so stupid like cowboy boots or something. No, never. So I kind of just sat there on the ground, and I really wanted to cry, so I was like, oh god, I can't cry, it would be so embarrassing, man. Everyone's gonna be like, oh, he cried, he's such an idiot, corrupted. But I was also trying to cope with the pain somehow. I had to release it, you know. And my friends were like, dude, are you okay? You sound like a dying rodent. And I was like, because I'm not crying, alright? I'm doing. So I technically didn't lose my streak. I was just doing. Anyway, eventually my teacher came back and was like, what? Now I didn't get any punishment because I didn't fight back. I kinda just laid on the floor and took it, but he got punished. So screw you and your hi. I don't know if that's meant to be like, hee. How are you? Oh. Wonderful. That's great, I guess. Anyway, so he and his dumb boots got punished, and they were not real cowboy boots. Let me tell you that one for sure. I was kind of disrespectful. We just had a full-blown conversation, and then I just kind of threw him off into the abyss with one singular snowball. That was sad. Anyway, I ended up keeping my streak of never crying in school up to this point. Same with never shitting in school and never throwing up in school, which I'm all very proud of. So yeah, if I was back there, probably would have thought, you know, I just realized that like when I was starting school, I had so many opportunities for fatter things, fun things, but I was just such an introvert that I did not do anything. Like when I did not know how to like come home alone, or like in 3rd grade or something, I was just like playing on the field with all the other kids because I had to wait for my mom to pick me up, and there were so many opportunities for trolling. I could like walk up to people and say, "You're having a heart attack, run," but I was just like so boring and lame that I didn't do anything, and I regret that so much because imagine how fun that would be. So I kinda regret I didn't fight back, but at the same time, I probably would have gotten in trouble if I... So, you know what, maybe it's good that I didn't, and you know what, to be honest, it only hurt. Hello, it's this person, hello. Is she gonna ask me how I am again? Crazy plays over here, man, almost outmaneuvered me. Oh my god, everywhere I go, I see his face. Hello. This person's getting repetitive. Anyway, I was so proud of not crying after this. I was like, yeah, I didn't cry. I did not lose my streak. And then like one day later, I was sitting on the playground and my friend's pot like cracked. We made a pot like an art class with a flower in it, and it's like cracked on the floor, and it was like, ooh, my pot. And I was like, oh my god, this record's actually for nothing. I'm the only one trying to actually build a steady reputation here. You're just crying here over a cracked pot. Are you kidding me? So yeah, but I'm happy I persevered. You know, it was fun. It was very fun. It was not that fun actually. I did not like getting beaten up, but at the same time, it was just boots. So I still stand by my opinion. I think I might have actually like told him after he kicked me down, like beat me up, that I was like, those still aren't real cowboy boots, and he couldn't do anything because the teacher was right there, and he would just get absolutely destroyed by her if he like did anything. So he was like, anyway, we're on good terms now. I think, I don't know. He's not really replying to my Instagram DMs, so. Maybe that fight separated us. Hello. Should I build towards you? You don't really seem to be doing much. Oh wow, I did not expect that strategy. Crazy plays, Mr. Crazy Plays over here. Ooh. So yeah, the moral of the story, kids, don't really get into fights, but if you have to, don't fight back. But if you have to, fight back really hard. And if you have to, blame it on someone else, because schools will for some reason get you in trouble if you're trying to defend yourselves. So yeah. Oh wow, he actually has projectiles. I should have probably anticipated that. I earned 2 hypixel experience. This is revolutionary. Now I don't really know how like fights in like high school or middle school go, since I don't know, I haven't been in a fight since then. I didn't really try, you know. Usually someone would probably like kill my whole family, and then the next day I'm just gonna come up to them like, hey friend, how was your weekend? So yeah, I don't really get into fights. If I did, I'm not sure what I would do if I did get into a fight. I haven't thought this through yet. Just give me a second. What the heck? Why don't you take knockback at all? What was that actually? Wait, instant replay on that. Instant replay. I am too lazy to do replays usually, but instant replay on that. No knockback whatsoever. I'm still too lazy to do one. I hope you saw that. You're either gonna lose and have like bruises, or you're gonna win and get in trouble. So it's really a lose-lose situation. This guy has too much lava. What? I want to like end this thing on a win, but I can't seem to win. So I'm just really trying to push the grain or something right here. Okay, it's an MVP plus with a different color plus. I'm actually screwed. I'm never gonna get this last win. Never in my life. I'm never gonna see it. Did you just place a combat chest? What? What is the strategy? Okay, subscribe, don't get into fights really, or you can, I don't really care, I can't stop you, but subscribe. Villager news.